Hello and welcome to the business level. Today's episode will be a bit different than the usual episodes because today is the first part of a new journey within the business level. We are going to talk about intercultural communication. Intercultural communication is becoming more and more important for companies as everyone is actually selling online. We are selling on a global scale. So it's important to know who you are doing business with. It's important to know what are the cultural differences and how to adapt to these. So for instance, we are going to talk mainly about Europe versus America and Europe versus Asia. That's because I personally have experience in these markets. Today I want to focus on Asia. So one of the things that you see if you talk about cultural differences between Europe and Asia is, for instance, in how people handle things. In Europe, it's actually very direct. If you go to talk with someone, you talk about the facts. If you go to drink, you look them in the eyes. So, for instance, if I take a cup of tea by the European standards, I take the cup, I use my pinky and I drink whilst keeping the eye contact. That's very important in Europe, but if you go to Asia, you do it differently. They even have a full art around it and it's called the art of tea, and that's the focus of today. So what is the art of tea and how can you impress your Asian clients by knowing this art? So the art of tea is more than just setting tea. It's about who are you as a person? Do you know the values of the society? Do you know how to react when you're talking to higher ranked people? And before that, I will first demonstrate you how you would pour the tea and how you would drink it. But then I come back to how it is done in a full way. So first of all, you put your tea. This is an empty jar right now because it's for demonstration only. But if you work, you always take the tea, you make sure that the air hole is right here. You put your finger on the top, you pour lightly and you go up. So that's how you pour the tea. Why? Because it lets it oxidize. And oxidation is very important. It gives the tea more flavor. Then we come to the second part. How is a cup of tea drunk? Like I said, in Europe, you look at each other and you drink with your pinky. Well, that's not the case in Asia. In Asia, if the cup is in front of you, then you take the cup. This is the table. You take the cup, two hands, you bring it up, but you don't drink like this, you do this. You can't show the motion. So the motion itself of drinking is very rude in Asian culture. It's the same if you drink soju, sake, etc. You don't drink towards the person, you drink away from them and you cover your mouth. So that's very important. And why is this? In China, they have the saying guangxi. It means giving face. And in all of Asia, it's the same principle, to give respect, to show your respect, to give face to someone. And respect can only be done through cultural differences. So, for instance, the art of tea, one of the biggest ones that they can do to see if you are respectful to them. They will see who you are as a person. So the art of tea is in various steps. First of all, you never pour for yourself. That's always done by another person. So you, as the client, you will always pour for your client, theirs, for the people you are negotiating with. So, for instance, I am sitting right in front of a colleague, then I will pour the tea for them and put the tea jar back on the table. They will then pour for me. That's called mutual respect. That's an art of tea. You first always serve the elders or the ones in the highest position. Most of the time, these are the same people, but you need to know the people you are talking with. For instance, if the elderly is just a driver of, well, then you first pour for him and then for the driver. You still show your respect to the elderly. That's very important. So it's totally different than how you would set tea and drink tea here in Europe. But it makes a whole difference in Asia. Another part is, like I said, how you drink the cup. Most of the time, if you have done something wrong in a collaboration, or if you want to show the best respect, you drink it in one shot. If you're just doing a casual business review and you're just in negotiations, you drink it like normal. You sip a few sips and you put it back. There are differences there as well. Because if you pour it in one time, that means you have a lot of respect for them, but you need to know the situation. Have you done something wrong? If you have, then you do this. If you don't do it because it will make you look guilty. So the art of tea is like reading body language. It's like reading who are we talking with and what are we trying to reach. If it's your first ever meeting with them and you can impress them by serving the tea in the right way, then the business meeting goes smoothly. But if you don't know this, well, they say, we need to think about working with you. Because respect is everything in Asia. And without respect, you won't make it. So this is the first of a few podcasts that will be about intercultural communication. I hope you liked it. And well, for next week, we will talk more about behavior when in Asia itself. And I will focus on South Korea as I have the most experience with the South Korean market. So see you next week. Bye.